By way of introduction, my name's Stephen Crawford. I'm Managing Director of Col Crawford Motors. I just want to thank everyone for making the effort and taking time out of their evening to join us and to attend tonight. Tonight is about celebrations in many ways. Most of you are here tonight out of your interest for electric cars, and we celebrate new product, exciting new product and new technology. We celebrate a new way of motoring, our mobility, and the far-reaching consequences the move to EVs may have. For Col Crawfords, this has us celebrating a new era in our business, as we hold this event also around us celebrating our new Hyundai and our Holden showroom. Col Crawfords has been celebrating 50 years of business on the Northern Beaches, and we are proud of our history and the heritage that has always been about cars, our customers, and the Northern Beaches. This is a plug. There are some other new car dealers in town that are making different claims, but we believe, we know, that when it comes to the community, involvement and being part of the Northern Beaches, there is only one car dealer. Could you help me spread that word? That brings me to introduce some special guests that are also very much a part of the Northern Beaches, who have been good enough to take time out of their busy schedules to join us. I would like to make particular mention and welcome Mr. Jason Falinsky, MP, Member of Mackellar, Mr. Brad Hazard, MP, Member for Wakehurst, and the Mayor of the Northern Beaches Council, Mr. Michael Regan. Welcome, gentlemen, and thank you for coming. Much of tonight is about technology and in particular electric cars. We have Mr. Tom Bestak from Hyundai Motor Company that will present tonight and tell us a bit about the industry, EVs, and what Hyundai is bringing to market. I would like to thank Hyundai Australia for making available the new Kona, which isn't available to the market just yet, and also the Nexo hydrogen cell powered vehicle. Our guests, you people, will be among the first in Australia to see these two new motor cars. So again, gentlemen from Hyundai, thank you for your support. Also from Hyundai is Mr. Hugo Acosta, State Manager. Hugo is around somewhere up the back. Hugo, again, mate, thank you for your support and thank you for helping us with this evening. For some information, we also have as one of our guests Mr. David Veal, Managing Director of Solar Pro. Dave's company is the biggest and we believe the best domestic supplier and installer of solar power on the Northern Beaches. Dave will be available to talk to our guests and talk about their interests and knowing anything about what's involved in installing solar energy into your house. We believe that there is a direct association for obvious reasons between a consumer looking at solar power as a domestic solution and electric cars as a means of transport. For everyone's interest, Col Crawford in 2015 invested $1 million in solar energy, with 4 of our buildings so far having solar panels. At 4 p.m. today, according to the charts I look at, our BMW building over there was generating 69.67 kilowatts of energy, and for the day it had produced 350.8 kilowatts per hour of energy. Combined with the solar on our service building, our Holden building and our Kia and Suzuki showroom, at 4 p.m. we had generated over 700 kilowatts per hour of energy. This is approximately 70% of the power that we require, so we don't cover all the power we require even on a sunny day like today. My charts say that we save 630 kilograms of CO2 emissions. That's according to my charts. I don't know how they measure that, but it sounds good. I believe our solar installation is the biggest on the Northern Beaches and one of the biggest on the north side of the harbour. Our new Hyundai showroom, which got complete just before Christmas, our roof structure is designed for solar panels to be installed, and during 2019 this will be our 5th building that we'll put solar on. Just a few weeks ago out the back we installed our electric charger, and it's located at the rear of the showroom, whereby we will complete our signage and and directional signage, and this area will become our first EV owner customer charge station bay. We are working with other partners in the charge station business, looking at networks to see how Col Crawfords can play a role with our premises here at Brookvale, at Narrabeen and at Mona Vale, or perhaps being part of a Northern Beaches charging network. We've also got another guest tonight, Mr. Tim Washington, who's the CEO and founder of Jet Charge Australia. So Tim is here tonight, and welcome Tim. Jet Charge is involved in numerous car manufacturers and other parties in discussions around network setup, and Tim is here tonight to also share his knowledge, information and details on his products to any interested parties. So Solar Pro and Jetstar have set up, is that you, Paddy? It's a setup. Solar Pro and Jetstar setup is just out the front there, folk. And during the course of the night, if you want to go and talk to the good folk out there about their product and what they do, that's why they've got their involvement. I'd like to also welcome Elspeth Cronin from the NRMA and thank the NRMA for their interest in our event. Philip, Maddie and Steve Coroner from Renault Australia are here tonight. So welcome gentlemen, and also thank you for attending. Ladies and gentlemen, Col Crawford is all about technology, investing in the future, and with that I'd like to welcome the Col Crawford management and staff. I'd also like to make mention of a legend of the motor industry, which happens to be my father, Col. Welcome, Dad. Make sure he sits on the seat and doesn't go AOT. I would also like to welcome and say thank you to my wife, Susie, and thank you for putting up with me, who joins us tonight, and my sister Carol is also here. So, Suze, hi, welcome. And hi, Kaz. On this occasion, I have to single out three people, as they represent many things, but our involvement with the motor industry and what we are celebrating tonight, they represent the future. So to my three sons, Harrison, hand up. Oh, all three, okay. Joined at the hips, they are. To my three sons, Harrison, Jake and Will, welcome, and I take the opportunity to simply say good luck. I'm not going to go into detail about the product that we've got here tonight, along with Solar Pro, Jetstar, as well as the representatives from Hyundai and Renault, all of who are here to be part of the occasion, but also to have discussion with you about the product they're involved with. There are many Col Crawford staff to answer your questions and to show you over motor cars. We have the stunning new BMW 8 Series i8 over there, as well as the i3 full of technology, and our BMW staff will be more than happy to show you over the cars and talk to you about them. And we've also got the 3 Series, 5 Series hybrid BMW models on display over there. In our Hyundai showroom, we have got the Ioniq range as well as the Kona and the Nexon, and outside our Renault range, we've got the Zoe and the Kangoo van. So when the formalities are over, it gets more exciting and we can get onto the cars. The interest in tonight has been quite an experience. The growing interest in EV cars is very exciting, with the likes of BMW, but now in particular Hyundai and Renault, bringing more affordable and more practical EVs to the market. Along with the latest technology, the momentum and interest in EVs will only build. Col Crawford has pioneered in many areas of the motor industry over the last 52 years. We believe we understand the market and what the consumer wants, and we know where the industry is going. As much as we own, we believe, the high ground when it comes to family owned and who is part of the community on the Northern Beaches, we want to be seen as the car dealership that embraced EV technology and the vehicles before anyone else. So thank you for being part of tonight. Enjoy the occasion, enjoy the hospitality. And now I invite the Mayor of the Northern Beaches and advocate himself for EV technology, Mr. Michael Regan, to say a few words. While Michael makes his way up there, I do want to acknowledge in a more serious way the efforts of Daniela Mills in helping put this together tonight. She's enjoying a white wine out the front.
Michael, well done, mate. Well done. big effort from you, my friend, and you are a leader in this space, and it's great that we've got you here in the community leading this and we need to get behind him. Can I also acknowledge the MPs in the room, and I'm going to single Jason out in a minute, and Minister Hazard, but for positive reasons, of course. But I just want to say, can I first acknowledge the traditional Aboriginal owners of the land and pay my respects to elders past and present on where we're gathered tonight, and particularly emerging leaders that may be here. It's important we acknowledge that, and I just want to say, Steve, you and your team have done an amazing job in being leaders. I mean, talk about the biggest solar, I'm going to challenge you on that. I'm pretty sure the one at Brookvale Oval, or maybe Cromer Parks, I know NWFA are here, it's got to go close to matching that one of yours up there.
1 second and the other third.
Bugger. Well, there you go. That's why you're a leader and I'm not. I'm not going to argue with him, he would know. But Council's doing its bit, and I just want to say on that particular part, I approached Steve a while ago when I first read about these, and I said, this is something that this is space that Council needs to be in, and we need to help encourage our residents. We've got a captured market here of 270,000 residents, the most extraordinary place to live and work, the Northern Beaches, the world's best kept secret. We know it, we travel around the world, and we always come back here and say, my goodness, aren't we lucky to live where we live? And it's an amazing, amazing space. And we need to help our community lead that space and take on new technologies. So I guess with the EV stuff, we said to our CEO, he just arrived and said, mate, we want to do something in this space and lead that. We said, we know it's going to take over, it's going to be financially advantageous sooner than we know it, and it's got other benefits and the like, and we need to be a leader for our community. So we took up that challenge. We went to Hyundai out at Macquarie Park there, and thank you for organising that. And we got to test drive the Kona, we got to test drive the Ioniq. I'm proud to say that the Mayor's office now has the first Ioniq, I think pretty much in the country. And it's been driven, it's under 1,500 Ks now. And well, in public, around, okay? It's not just Hyundai, all right? But in terms of the public being able to have it, my kids have been in it, okay? Fair enough. And my 15-year-old teenager who is a car nut loves it. He thinks it's extraordinary, and that's a good sell. My 15-year-old loves it. And demands to be driven in it more often, so that's a good thing. So I want to say thank you for leading that. We're putting our, I think we've ordered 5. If we haven't, we should have, and we're going to. We're looking at the Konas, and we're going to look at doing them for the Rangers and other parts of our business as well, because we want to get that in the market. We want to start creating momentum within the community. Equally with the hydrogen that we've spoken about, or touched on briefly, we've got a plan for the next 10 years. And so Jason, and I think Zali Steggle's in the room as well, if you are fortunate enough to be elected, we have to start talking about and having that conversation about what the federal government can do. Because they're doing 9/10 of bugger all, to be fair. State, Minister, and I know Jason you are interested because we've had this discussion, but Minister Hazard and the state government have recently announced a significant investment into EVs and getting out there and rolling out the technologies to charge and the like. So, and their fleet, 10% of your fleet is going to be full electric. And as someone who gets to drive around the Northern Beaches in this, it's brilliant. We took it up to Lake Macquarie. We drove the Ioniq up to Redhead Beach for the smart technology launch with Lake Macquarie Council. Brilliant. Didn't miss a beat. Went to NRMA at Wall's End, charged up. 15 minutes later, we're driving back to the Northern Beaches. That's the sort of stuff that we want to hear and we're proud of. And we want to encourage our community to take this up. And I guess for Jason, I want you and I know Zali's in the room, I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of that. We had a luxury car tax that was protecting the car making industry in Australia, which now doesn't exist. What are we doing about the luxury car tax? Can we reinvest it into the technology of electric and hydrogen? Japan are doing it, Korea are doing it, other countries are doing it, why aren't we? Even China are doing it. I think you have an opportunity to lead that, Jason, and you've got a great leader here in Col Crawford locally to do that. And it's not your fault, Jason, it's just, but I think you can do that. And I encourage you, and as I said, Zali's in the room. If you're elected, Zali, you should be doing that as well and having these conversations. It is the least we can do. We are the Northern Beaches, we rock. We're the world's best kept secret. And the challenge is Hyundai, thank you for challenging us. The CEO was very impressed with that hydrogen four-wheel drive thing you've got coming forward in the near future. He wants one. He said, write it into my contract, Mr. Mayor. I said, sure, I'll talk to Rory Amon who's here, and Councillor Amon. I said, we can do that. He's a lawyer, we'll sort it out. So, but the thing is, we need to do our bit as well. We can't just rely on the car dealers to do it. We need as a council to do our bit to encourage our residents. And you've got a great asset like, I mentioned Cromer Park in Manly, we're in a football association over there. It's a great big piece of open space, Cromer Central. They've got 20,000 members. It's 20,000 players, I think now. It's close enough to 20,000 players. What are we doing there to make a public space there? You've got this great big, I think it's a shipping container, a one-stop shop shipping container which has hydrogen, it has plug-in electric, it's got every different electric thing you can do. Why aren't we doing that? 150 grand, that's nothing. We should be doing that. As a council, we should be leading that, and we should be doing that space to help out and encourage our residents and our local businesses to continue to do the right thing. He shouldn't be the only one doing this, and I think, again, I can't stress enough, well done for leading that charge, and I think council's going to be with you and make this happen. So thank you everyone for coming out and doing this. Jason, the other thing I was going to mention, left-hand drive. Just get rid of that stupid rule of left-hand, right-hand drive. If the Europeans can have left-hand and right-hand drive, you'll see a flood of electric cars and the cheaper prices that will come out much sooner. We don't need right-hand drive. You can do left and right. They can do it in Europe. You've driven over there. You know it's possible. Jason, get into it. Jason, by the way, is a friend of mine, so I like to stir him up occasionally when I've got a microphone. So well done, team, and thanks again for having me. Well done, my friend. You are awesome for leading. Well done.
You don't need Parliament House to have the politicians trying to bop each other up, eh? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Bestak from Hyundai Motor Company.
Since I've been here, I think I've heard about 5 ionic orders and one hydrogen order. So we're doing pretty well tonight, that's for sure. My name's Tom Bestak. I'm from Hyundai Motor Company Australia. I'm the Regional Sales Manager. Today I'm excited to share with you just a few things that Hyundai Australia are doing with mobility. Introducing to you the 3 pillars of ongoing research. This is what we're doing at Hyundai. So connected mobility is the first thing. How we interact with vehicles just like we would with technology at home and in the office. Freedom in mobility, so basically how we drive between cities and states in the country. Clean mobility, zero emissions, that's where we're heading. That's what we want to achieve. So we already have active intelligence, number 1. It's smart cruise control, lane keep assist, and emergency braking, autonomous braking. That's stage 1 of where we're heading already, and that's where we are right now. Many of our vehicles already have that. The next thing you'll see on the roads is autonomous. It's level 4 autonomous vehicles. Hyundai already have level 4 eco vehicles being test driven around the world. They already are in Korea, Europe and North America. In Australia, we're completing autonomous testing with Transurban, which is the freeway and motorway operator, and state government departments around Australia. So we're well on the way. Hyundai Motor Company has continuously invested developing eco-friendly vehicles for 2 decades. So it's over 2 decades actually now. Last year we became the 2nd largest automaker in terms of global eco-friendly vehicle sales. As a result of our long-term efforts, we successfully introduced a comprehensive electric-powered vehicle lineup that includes hybrid, plug-in hybrid, electric, EV in other words, and FCEV, which is fuel cell electric vehicles. Between now and 2025, Hyundai have also committed to have 38 additional models available for the global market. So we're well on the way as well. In November last year, we introduced the Ioniq range, and I can see that they're all around the displays outside at the moment. That includes the hybrid, the plug-in hybrid, and the EV. But our journey starts now. This is where we head from zero emissions onwards. We start with our recently introduced EV, and there's one sitting over there in the corner. It has 88 kilowatts of power, but the most important thing is torque. These things have 295 newtons of torque. That's comparable to a large-sized car these days. And it runs 230 kilometers between a full charge. That has a 28 kilowatt lithium ion battery, just if anyone wanted to know. But what we have coming out this month, which is the Kona EV, which is right in front of you over there. I was fortunate enough to drive it today. 150 kilowatts of power, 395 newtons of torque. So I'll give you an example. The Santa Fe has about 440. That's a big SUV. That's a little one right there. The i30M, which is our performance sports car, that has about 380. That one over there has 395. But not only does it have plenty of power, it has 450 kilometer range out of a 64 kilowatt hour battery. It really depends on how you're driving too. That's my opinion. But now we move to hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles, FCEV. Hyundai's next generation FCEV, the Nexo, which we have one example over there right now, started as a global launch in January 2019. The first customer that took delivery was in California, and they actually are driving those vehicles over there right now. This car was engineered for Australia, in Australia, with developed suspension, steering, drivetrain, navigation, autonomous technology. All of that was designed and tested here in Australia. Not only in Australia, but here in New South Wales. Nexo generates a maximum of 120 kilowatts, but 395 newtons of torque. So again, comparable to any other mid-size SUV, which is exactly what we're looking at over there today. Traditional engines, what you'd normally see an engine outside, has 2,500 to 3,000 moving parts. That one over there has 6. So you can see the reliability side of it. There's definitely an opportunity to have a very, very good, solid, reliable vehicle over there. So the future's getting there already. The fuel cell, it has 60% efficiency and it has a driving range of 750 kilometers out of 6 kilograms of hydrogen. 750 kilometers. Now that's moving along. FCEV doesn't burn hydrogen. It's a chemical reaction between purified air and hydrogen. Basically, it's combined in a fuel stack inside the vehicle and it creates electricity. So it has a hydrogen system, create electricity into an electric motor, and that's where it develops its own power. The water, though, is purified. Sorry, the water and purified air are the only byproducts of this process. So that's all it develops as on the way out. The dash in that Nexo, when we turn it on later, will actually show you how much air are purified on its way from Macquarie Park to here today. Not only that, if you have one of those cars driving for 15,000 kilometres, it purifies enough air for 2 people to breathe for a whole year. Now that's modern technology for you. Again, it's here now. Every touch surface on the inside of that car, including the paint as well, has been put together from mulched soybean, sugarcane, bamboo-based products for any soft trim, paint or carpet in that car. So these are all certified biomaterials with a 20% reduction in the CO2 of creating those products. This represents the most extensive use of bioproducts for any other vehicle than any other vehicle in the country. Hyundai will continue to make FCEV technology smaller, lighter and more powerful. So as technology gets better, obviously we'll be there for it. This will allow us to expand to FCEV sedans, trucks and buses. But don't forget that this technology is already around. At the same time, Hyundai will continue investing in autonomous driving, improved aerodynamics and cutting edge. And the examples are over there with the door handles all tucked inside and the D-pillars designed to actually tuck in at the back, so you've got perfect aerodynamics, fuel efficiency, that's what it's all about. Filling stations in the coming years, what we normally see now, which is a service station with fuel bowsers, they'll have a combination of EV, hydrogen and petrol bowsers, all side by side. That's what's happening right now. Over in California and Europe, they actually have that already operating, but not only that, they have unmanned hydrogen filling stations because that's where the cars are already happening, or already around the country. The technology is not restricted to light vehicles. You can also use them, and they're already in use, for forklifts, trucks, buses, trains, and even ferries. So all this technology is already operating all around you. Hyundai Australia is also a proud founder of Hydrogen Mobility Australia. Members include other FCEV manufacturers, oil companies, gas companies, technology companies, mining companies, and observer members from government departments and including the CSIRO. So it's a fantastic effort. Next step is the planning and infrastructure, and that's where you guys come in, isn't it? Yeah. We're going to be doing demonstrations in all capital cities, but the future is now, ladies and gentlemen. We have FCEV, we have EV, we have hybrid, we have all the options available right now. So all I want to do is be able to demonstrate these vehicles and bring you all into the future. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We had another guest from Hyundai going to present tonight that pulled out in the last minute. So Tom, for your efforts in the presentation, thank you. That's it for the formalities. Thank you for your attention. It is about celebration, so you're allowed to have a really good time. We've got music, we've got some food, we've got Daniela out there waving at me, we've got some wine and some beers there, but importantly, ladies and gentlemen, we've got some fantastic motor vehicles about. Please feel free to roam around, speak to the staff, speak to the representatives from the factory. We're here to answer your questions. I've done my bit, no one's allowed to ask me any questions. Have a good night and thank you for coming.